people how they're doing and start asking people how they're feeling. So I gotta make sure I'm watching the news. I will never waste pain that's offered to me. Nothing is ever wasted. Everybody that I gotta play the week gon' be straight. And that we tie that red that you won't hit, so you better not be late. This is a place of development, and I'm not gonna die here.
Yo, welcome to the Young Vagabond podcast, where we navigate the journey of life together through truth and love. I'm your co-host, Bryson.
I'm your co-host, DJ.
Are y'all laughing because I forgot?
That's never happened before.
It blinked, bro. Chill out, bro.
Said when we you know,
I didn't use
ham.
Sandwich.
I didn't even say As a communicator, you gotta learn the art of the pause and not use filler words.
Hey, bro, it's fine.
I literally said, "Welcome to the Young Vagabond podcast." Where we navigate the journey of life together through truth and love. If I said a filler word, who was ever watching, y'all play it back and let me know in the comments.
Hey,
but if
bro.
I didn't, I know I didn't. I feel like I didn't.
You didn't.
It's not that deep.
No, it is that deep.
I just think, regardless, it was funny.
Because let me tell you something.
Okay.
One thing is that the animosity will not prevail over what I got going on.
That's good.
It's not, man. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Well,
1,000 may fall at my left and 10,000 at my right, but it won't come near my home.
keep going. I'm ready.
He who dwells in the shelter of the Almighty shall find refuge. Because this animosity and this hostility, it won't be killing me.
Lord.
Hey, man, it's season 5, episode 3. Make sure you grab some popcorn and go take a pee so you can sit down and kick it with B, D, and D. Yeah.
That was good, bro.
Yeah.
Like
BDD. You know what I'm saying? We're here, bro. We're here for another episode. We got little sis, bro. She back in the building, bro. She here to.
little sis.
Hey, bro, that's what you are, bro. You're a little sis.
Ain't
bro.
y'all like 10 minutes apart?
No, we're not. We're at least
We're
15.
both 20.
Dude. But you're like barely 20. Like I'm about to leave. Like,
And how long have you been 20?
Like 10 months.
Okay, I've been 20 since September.
That's not 10 months. That's like what, 4 or 5. So like, it's 5 months actually. So you're like half as old as me in 20 years.
So basically, he's trying to say you're like half the person he is.
Step aside, little bro.
Are you saying that because I'm a woman?
Step aside, little bro.
That's crazy. Like,
No, I'm not gonna let you do that.
like
bro.
DJ, I knew you was like that, but
Little
bro, like, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
don't do that, bro. I'm trying to be employed one day, bro. You can't. You can't
Okay,
me
bro,
with
I'm
that
lying.
one, bro.
I'm
Like,
being, he respects
they
me.
gonna clip that, bro.
They
That's
are
all-
gonna,
that's
they
all it's
are,
gonna
you know
take.
that they be clipping,
That's
so they
all
are
it's
gonna
take, man. But hey,
they are
bro.
gonna clip it, bro.
And I can't have that, bro. I'm
These
trying to
facetious allegations.
go play. Yeah, that's right. Facetious.
know, bro.
Spell
Somebody-
facetious.
F-A-C-E-T.
T?
Yes,
Yeah,
facetious.
I can see how a T would be in there.
T
Not you finna
I O U S, or it's either E O U S.
Okay. Yeah, it's facet. Yes.
I told you, bro. I'm not. Come on, bro.
Hey, bro,
I
you
literally
right.
was top 10 in my high school,
And spelling bee.
and bro, I got a 3.947 GA.
Dang, bro.
What's a GA? I got a.
He's got that many graduate assistants under him, bro. He's the GOAT, bro. That's good.
I got a decent GPA.
Hey, you got a more than decent GPA. It's a really good GPA. You said it's a 3.97?
47. No, I'm playing. It's a 3.86 with a 3.83 for my major.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It's really good.
should be higher.
Hey, bro, but at the end of the day, jobs go and hire you anyway when they see you got that degree. Anyways, we're here, bro. You know how it goes. Got to tell y'all first. even though we're probably already 5 minutes in, to subscribe if you're listening or watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pocket Cast, or any other podcast platform. Hit that follow button. We appreciate you guys. Of course, if you want to support, that link is in the link. It is in the link tree, but it's also just in the description down below. With that Cashapp, that PayPal. Shout out to all the Give-A-Bonds, the Donate-A-Bonds. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Also, thank you to anyone who has subscribed, bro. We appreciate that. And for the people who have been sharing, man, it really, really means a lot when y'all share this content because we're trying to get this out to as many folks as possible, bro. Y'all be blessed, bro. And thank you guys for doing what y'all doing, bro. I appreciate that. Of course, also check out the link tree for that Instagram, that TikTok, and all other things, man. So you can send, if you don't want to send the whole video, you can send a clip, you know what I'm saying? Send a little 30-second nugget, and that kind of gets them hooked, you know what I'm saying? Just like, never mind. I was about to say something crazy, but don't worry about that. We just want to get them hooked to the content. Anyways, bro, we're here, bro. We got, once again, Destiny back on the pod. Man, she been killing it in life, as always. She started her own podcast as well, and so we going to, of course, have that link also down below, man. Y'all go support Destiny, bro. All the things she over there doing. The podcasts are good, bro. I know people who out here taking notes on the pod, bro. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, man, keep, bro, what are y'all laughing for? Bro, I mean, hey, I appreciate that, bro. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
My
y'all
friend
be out
did
here.
say she was taking some notes.
Hey, bro, I'm sure there's a ton of people. People take notes on our stuff. I remember somebody sent me, shout out to Madison, actually. I think Madison one time sent, like, a time she had taken notes on our podcast, bro. So, like, hey, bro, we appreciate that. Hey, man, we were able to drop some knowledge. But, hey, her podcast, definitely noteworthy. So, like, man, y'all go out there, y'all go support. Man, she's killing it, bro. So we appreciate you. Also, like, the aesthetic, way better than our aesthetic, bro. We just be in a study room, bro, with a white back. What are these called, bro?
A whiteboard.
A whiteboard, bro. We just got a whiteboard that's, you know, blank, kind of dirty. You know, see all them stains right there, bro. She got like a whole like little like color gate, bro. You feel cozy, bro. You feel like you want to get some hot chocolate, sit by a fireplace, and watch the podcast. That's the kind of vibe she got, bro. It just make you feel at home. You know what I'm saying? And like her voice, bro. Like, you know, I'm just like, bro, she got it, bro. Like everything about it just make you feel cozy and comfortable and just ready, bro. So anyways, we here, bro. We finna get into this, but of course, y'all know how it starts. What's your favorite conversation of the week?
Can I introduce a new question?
Hey, go ahead.
What's your net ID, your 9-digit, and your banner password?
The name is called Intricately Woven because I don't think he said it.
Oh, yeah. That's the name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Incorporated, actually. That you want to play with. It's Intricately Woven Incorporated. That's what you need to Google.
Yeah, because I most definitely probably, Lord willing, let it not just be a podcast, but a business. So,
That's dope, bro.
speaking it now.
That's dope, bro. We
Don't know
believe
what
for it.
in what way, but hey,
bro.
that's not for me to figure out.
We were
Bars.
Okay, bro. Like I said, link is going to be in the description, so y'all can click on it. Go subscribe, go follow, all that. So, anyways.
Real.
My net ID is, no, I'm just kidding. What's y'all's favorite
I'm not answering
conversation of the week, bro? Okay, I'm going to go first, bro. It's all right. We cool, but we ain't even worried about it, bro. So, anyways, my favorite conversation of the week, pretty chill. I didn't have like a whole lot of deep, you know, revelatory conversations. But sometimes I don't think that's what you need. But anyways, I met this dude named Cameron. Came to our Bible study, and just cool guy, bro. And like he's a freshman, and like, you know, now that I'm getting older, but as I'm entering unk status as a someone in college, bro. It's just cool to like have conversation and just like one, like, just encourage and just be like, hey, bro, enjoy this time. Like, I remember people telling me that, like, when I was a freshman, and now, like, bro, like, there's nothing I feel like that compares to freshman year. Like, every year at my college has been dope, but, like, freshman year, bro, you just be doing stuff, bro, like, just side quests.
Real.
Because you just be having the time to, bro, and that just be a lot of fun. And so, yeah, man, like, I think that, like I said, it wasn't like, man, there was this huge revelatory moment or I got some lesson to teach you, but it's just like, man, spending time with, people is just, it never fails when you spend time with good people. And then also just like, man, God has blessed me with a lot of experience, good and bad. And so now the wisdom that I've gained from that experience, I now have the opportunity to bless somebody else with that. And so, like, make sure you take advantage of that. Like, of course, you always want to be a learner, but you also want to be somebody who's developing the next generation. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we're only 2 years apart, but, like, we're in completely different life stages, you know? So, anyways, that's my favorite conversation of the week. Now, I've given y'all a lot of time.
You're so inspirational.
All right.
I'm, like, so proud of you.
Okay, guys. All right. I'm gonna
That's
go.
why we're going to give it over to Bryson.
My favorite conversation of the week actually happened with Chris Walker,
Shout out.
Ben Stroud, and Josh Fisher. We met up at the MacArthur Cafe on campus. It's pretty cool.
Why are you talking like that?
What are you talking about?
Okay. Continue.
As I was saying, unbeknownst to me, he wanted to interrupt me.
So, like, they've been going through some stuff, y'all. And honestly, man, I don't know what's going on. It's like I'm in the middle of it, literally. And I don't mean to cut you off, Bryson. I don't. But I just want, like, when we get, done with this, we got to have a sit down. Y'all just have to come together again.
Bro, you trying to start the beef between us, but we chilling.
I'm not.
That's what it is. Bryson, bro. I'm so sorry.
So we were all sitting at MacArthur Cafe, munching down on some grub. And what is so funny, dude?
Strange. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Let's go.
I think we did that last time.
Okay. Salutations and satiation. But we were just having a great time. And I think that conversation was one of my favorite conversations of the week because it really reminded me that I'm not alone in this season of life because I'm finna graduate in 3 months. I'm about to be a married man in 3 months. And I'm in a season of where I don't know a lot. I don't know my next steps. I don't know which door is going to open up for me. And it felt good to know that I'm not alone in that I have brothers who are alongside me in this journey who are trying to figure out this life thing as well. And it was a beautiful conversation. It was a beautiful moment. We prayed. Yeah, man. To the people out there that's trying to figure life out, just know you're not alone. Bro, what the freak is funny, dog? Like, what's funny about that, bro? I really just poured my heart out.
You did. And that was amazing. Like, no.
What's so
No,
funny? Bro,
no,
forget it. I'm
because-
done. I'm done.
No, it's good, bro. Where you going, bro? Where you going?
Has he ever walked out before?
No, bro. It's all right, bro. Anyways, he gonna be back. It's too much.
DJ, this your fault, bro.
No, bro.
This always happening.
No, bro. It's you, bro. This
What I
happened
do?
last time we were on the
This
pod,
what- that's
bruh.
what I'm
You just be
saying.
cutting up, bro.
I didn't do anything.
And I be cutting up, too.
We got to put that in like all caps in the title name of the episode. Podcast host walks out
Walks
mid
out
episode.
mid-episode. Fire emojis right there.
Everybody mouth like,
Yeah, exactly. When the episode's over, we all got to make.
clickbait.
No, that was good, bro. Like,
Nah,
no,
for real.
like for real though. Like
Okay,
actually,
for real, though.
Like, no, like actually, like
Yeah.
being in similar life stages and be able to talk about it with people. I'm sure that's really encouraging to lead that conversation because y'all all are about to graduate, which is crazy.
Except for Josh. He's a junior. But
Fisher,
yeah,
for real.
I believe he's a junior. I think
thought
he's
he was a senior.
trying to figure out like internship stuff.
Shout out to you. Shout out to that conversation. Shout
Yeah,
out to
that's
Ben,
real.
Josh, and Chris.
That's so real.
The goats, bruh. All right, Dustin, it's your turn. What's your favorite conversation of the week? Okay.
Okay, well, I guess mine was one that happened yesterday or last night. I was on the phone with a friend.
Hey, you gotta.
Oh, am I? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
I get.
No, it's fine. You could just because they gonna hear it every time.
Oh, okay. I get.
They were hearing that.
Oh, I get. Okay.
It's all right. You can like fiddle with, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I get fidgety.
I just didn't want what you were saying to be interrupted, and they'd be like, "I did." You know what I'm saying? Like, and they couldn't hear. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah.
So your favorite conversation of the week was?
Are you? Thank you.
So you can just play with it.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's true, right? Yeah. My favorite conversation I had was with a friend last night. He was going through a lot. This week he had like 4 or something exams. Yeah, and because he's an engineering major. And I would say like it was a really good conversation because like sometimes you can just tell like when it's hard for other people to like reach out for help. And so like sometimes you just have to tell them like that it's okay to reach out for help, and like you don't know what you don't know, and like it's okay that you reach out and figure it out. I was like, these professors, that's what you paying them for. I'm like, you ask for help. You don't have to like struggle that alone, basically. So it spoke life into him, I guess.
Yeah, that's good.
It was a great conversation.
I like how it sounds so simple, but like you don't know what you don't know. I feel like people be feeling bad because they don't be knowing. It's like
it's normal. You don't know.
Yeah,
that's something I even was struggling because I talked about it in my pod because I switched my major, and so I'm like I'm feeling like I'm dumb and like incompetent because like I don't know what I'm doing, and it's like okay, duh. You've never been here before. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you gotta know everything. So,
right.
Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Like that really is a simple like truth.
It's like when I say like the Lord literally helped me through that because I can like overthink and overanalyze stuff, and so I'm sitting here like beating myself across the like head. Like he gave me this picture like I was beating my head against a brick wall trying to beat it down. Whole time he's like the tools are right next to you but you can't see them because you're sitting here being so tunnel vision instead of like looking for help. And it's like it's really we complicate stuff so much. I know I do. We complicate stuff so much, y'all. Like ask for help. Be honest. Like Bryson said, bro, you don't even know that one conversation about you struggling and they like, oh, I'm struggling too. Dang, there's no answer to the struggle, but guess what? We both struggling and we both know that we both struggling. So that helps a lot. That helps more than you know. So I really enjoyed that conversation. I'm gonna talk to you about that.
Okay.
The individual.
Yeah. But so no, it's good. You have something to add?
Yeah, bro. Ecclesiastes 4:13. Better was a poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king who no longer knew how to take advice.
Yeah.
Because it's pride. Like, you're a human being. You don't know everything. And the mere fact, that was another thing. Like, I was talking to this, I would say mentor lady. She was like, we have to stop trying to rise above our humanity. Like,
that's a bar.
You're a human. Act as if you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. God will grace you with the rest. But if you are prideful in the sense of like, I'm supposed to know this, I'm supposed to be able to do better. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Who told you that?
Right.
Who set that standard?
Yeah. It's like, because you inflate your own ability, and that's pride. Like, it's a weird thing because it's like, nah, I'm beating myself up. But it's like, nah, you're beating yourself up because you have a unrealistic expectation about where you're supposed to be. And it's like, you're not Superman. Like, not knowing something that you don't know is not a weakness. It's an opportunity, right, to grow. And we got to be okay with the fact that, like, a lot of people, we don't like to do things that we feel inadequate in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't like to try new things because, like, there's that feeling of inadequacy, right? Like, there's that fear of the unknown, but also that fear of, like, what if I'm not good at it first, right? Like, I know that's been me a lot of times. And so, like, it's like you have to be okay with not being the best or not even being good at something to begin with. When you start a new hobby, when you start a new career, when you start anything, if you get discouraged because you start taking photos, your photos don't look as good as somebody who's been doing it for 10 years, there's a reason their photos look that way. It's because they've gained the experience of 10 years. Yeah. And it's okay if you don't start off that way. And you got to set those expectations and have a level of humility to know, like, I'm not good at everything, and I don't have to be good at it immediately. And that's okay. That's not a detraction against who I am, because I have a realistic expectation about who I am and my ability.
Yeah, no, that's real. I definitely think that's something I've had to work through, and I'm still working through to this day. Because I remember when I was in high school, I was talking to a youth leader, and I was like, man, I look at my dad, and like my dad knows how to do so much stuff. Like he's an engineer, but he can also like work on cars. Like he can paint, do all of these things, right? And it's like he's such like a resourceful man. And I was questioning myself when I was like 17, 18 years old. I'm like what am I doing,
Yeah.
And he told me two things that really stuck with me. He was like, one, like he's way ahead of you in life, like in years. Like he's learned throughout the years. You got the rest of your life to figure this stuff out.
That's so good.
And then he also told me too, he was like, you can also make enough money to where you can just pay people to do what he has to do, like awesome. With his own hands, you know? So it's like,
that's how I'm trying to be.
Yeah, for real. Like,
nah, for real.
But man. Like, just not really comparing, man.
Right.
Not really comparing. I mean, it's something we kind of talked about today at the Holy Steppers. Ecclesiastes 4:4. Then I saw that all toil and all skill and work come from a man's envy of his neighbor. This is also vanity and a striving after the wind. Like when we're out here comparing ourselves, thinking I should be at this place or I should be doing better than them or I should at least be on the same level as them and not focusing on just our personal development and growth, that's vanity and chasing after the wind.
Yeah.
Because it's like we'll never scratch that itch. We'll never fully flex that muscle because it was never intended to be fulfilled in the way that we're trying to fulfill it.
Right. Yeah. I think it's like if your goal is always to be beating the next person, that's a unachievable goal, right? Because you either get to the point where you're on the top and your goal wasn't to be, at a certain level. It's just to be better than the next, right? So now you're just looking for the next person that you can beat. And you eventually, that's like with people who make a bunch of money, they get to a point where it's like, okay, I have made all the money. What now, right? And now they're like searching for a meaning and for a purpose because they were so consumed with like, oh, I got to, get the bag, or I gotta be the best. Like, once you get there, it's like, then what? Are you just gonna kind of wait around until you can find another thing to do, or like, are you gonna find purpose, right? And so that's why it's so important because like the success, the financial, and I want to say like the money, but the financial stability, all that comes with like pursuing your purpose. It may not look in the format that you imagine it. You may not be in a $5 million mansion, but I think if you can feed yourself, your family, and support the basic needs of them, you're doing better than most people on this planet. Like, to me, that's financial stability, and you're not having to pick and choose and worry about like, okay, where's my next this and that going to come from? That's wealth, bro. It may not be a fancy car or anything like that, but that's wealth. But if that's your focus, man, you're going to be stressed out, always trying to achieve and achieve and achieve versus when it's like, man, I just want to pursue my purpose and whatever that looks like for me. The benefits of that is the things that a lot of people chase, but also in that, you get the ultimate benefit, which is a fulfilled purpose, right? And since you have a complete, like, that you know what you're supposed to be doing, right? And that's something that only comes from fulfilling your God-given purpose.
Yeah. And also understanding that, like, your God-given purpose isn't all about you. I think like a lot of times I think that's why we struggle with our identity and what we do, because we're making it all about us in the first place when it was never supposed to be that way, right? When God crafted each and every one of us, he crafted each and every one of us for a specific purpose. But at the end, the whole goal is to bring him glory. So if like your purpose is in a sense of like, oh, wherever I'm at, I can be and give him glory, then that's what your purpose is, at that being where your feet are in that moment. And like, I think it can be very individualistic, which understandably so, because that's the culture that we live in. It's always get mine, get mine, get mine. When it's like, when you can't look outside of yourself, and understand that it's much bigger than you.
Yeah.
And when you look at life like that, or when you begin to look at life like that, which is hard and it's difficult, because at the end of the day, you are still dealing with your own life. Regardless of what people say, like, you're still going through your up and downs. You still, in a sense, feel at the center of your life because you're in the middle of it. It's not anybody else in the middle of it. It's you. So it's like understanding how difficult it can be to handle the fact of like, okay, well, this isn't all about me, but yet I am still in this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, because a lot of times we can be like, it's not about you, it's not about you, it's not about you. Yes, it's not about you, but you are involved. So it's like, you can't dismiss yourself either, because you're in that too. And I don't even think the Lord wants you to be dismissed anyway, because he cares for you.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like he's like, oh, I don't care about you. I just care about the things that you do for me. No, he cares about you more than anything that you can do for him. And it's from his care for you that you can do what you can do for him. And so it's like living from a place, like we always say, a place of abundance, instead of like striving, right? Instead of like, I got to get this, I got to get that, I got to get this. Sure, I can have it, but is it the thing that's like pushing my life forward? Then if it's not, then that's okay if it's not there, right? Because I've been able to taste and see that I got something that's much better anyway, right? Like DJ said, I got family, I got community, I got all these things that feel more real to me anyway. What can a car really do for me other than make me look good to others, And so it's just like, that's just an example. It's not like cars, because it can get even deeper than cars. It can be a job, a relationship, clothes you wear, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The way you want to look, the image you want to give off. So it could be whatever, but I feel like I'm rambling. But
No.
next, what's next?
I think you're good. Like, it's because it's not like those things are inherently bad. Like, if you're a car fanatic and you want a nice car, like, bro, go get that nice car. But if it's like the main goal of your life, there's a problem there. There's a mismatch priorities. I like computers. I like them a lot. I built my PC. My sister would tell you, I was like a kid in a candy store when I got all the parts from my computer.
Aww.
And I was putting them together, bro. I was like giggling, dude. Like, I was so excited. And that's a hobby of mine. But if my goal is now I got to make this money so I can have this expensive setup, so I can post it on Reddit and have everybody who I don't know be like, wow, that's a really cool setup. But then I got to mismatch priorities. And that's like a silly example, but that same heart still remains the same.
Yeah.
We have people who maybe they're not even striving for money as much as they're striving for identity.
Yeah.
Right. And they're looking to find that identity
so good.
in the money, in the status, in those different things. And they're not finding it. And they get to a point where they become depressed, or they become angry, or they become kind of these different negative outlooks of life, because they thought this thing would bring them what they wanted most, which was identity, and it didn't.
Yeah.
And so now they're really struggling with like, okay, what do I do? Mm-hmm. And so there's nothing wrong with having hobbies or having things that excite you, or things you enjoy. Like, personally, I don't care about a car, but if you do, that's you, and I'm like, that's good for you. But if it's like not even something where it's like, man, I want this car because I just like cars, and it's like I want to show people and stunt on them and show how much money and I got it like that, then you're taking the joy out of even being able to have that hobby. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's understanding where our identity and where our purpose is originating from. And for us, of course, that's what we believe. Like, the Lord is the originator of our purpose, but in that, we don't find purpose by chasing purpose. We find purpose by chasing him. And through chasing him, right, and pursuing him, we inherently pursue our purpose as well, right? And that is what brings us to that ultimate of like, I know who I am, right? Because that's the question that everyone's always trying to answer is like, who am I? And that answer doesn't come from chasing or striving, like you said. It comes from understanding the person who gives you that identity.
Yeah, that's good.
Ecclesiastes 4.
Come on, Ecclesiastes.
It's my favorite book. Top 3.
I remember you said that.
Top 3, and it's not 3. No, that's cap. It's like 3. But
Okay.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 6 through 8. Better is a handful of quietness than 2 hands full of toil and striving after the wind. Again, I saw vanity under the sun. One person who has no other, either son or brother, yet there is no end to his toil. His eyes are never satisfied with riches, so that he never asks, for whom am I toiling and depriving myself of pleasure? This is also vanity and an unhappy business. This passage describes a person who's chasing and striving after success and riches and all of these things that we can so easily get ensnared and entangled with. But he never takes the second to ask himself, who am I doing this for? And scripture calls that vanity and an unhappy business. And, you know, I've sat with this book so much. Like, I listened to a podcast on it. The word vanity is actually, in the original Greek, is hevel, which is like a wisp. It's like literally ungraspable wind. So it's like me risking my life to chase after success, fame, riches, all of these things, and not knowing the why or who I'm doing it for is literally a waste of my life and a waste of my time.
Yeah.
So striving after the win is an unhappy business. And man, one time I was talking to one of the pastors at the church I go to here, and he hit me with this fire verse. It's Mark 3:14. It talks about how Jesus was appointing his 12 disciples, and it says he appointed the 12 so that they may be with him and he might send them out to preach. And you see, before Jesus sent them out to preach, he appointed them to be with him first. A lot of times we get caught up in going back to Ecclesiastes. I'm finna go get mine. I'm finna get the success. I'm finna go do. But as y'all alluded to and as y'all said, like, when am I making time to be with Jesus? And when am I making time to keep the main thing? If I make my purpose like such an idol in this life, if I make my success, if I make my goals an idol in this life, then I'm going to get to the end of my life and I'm going to be like, dang, was it truly worth it?
Yeah. Amen. That's good, bro. That's really good. I think that it doesn't necessarily lead into, but like I think that kind of brings up another thing I want to talk about, which is like, I know for you, Destiny, like recently you've been kind of trying to figure out what does the next steps of your future look like. And so with that, you kind of go into that with the on the pod, and you kind of rebranded your podcast, because I think last time you were on here, we were talking about what used to be the podcast, which was Grace and Hustle, and like how it's now developed into what this is. And so can you kind of walk us through that?
Like the process of me doing it all? Mm-hmm. Okay, so when I started Grace and Hustle, I mean, it was cool. Like, it was great. I didn't really understand fully what I was doing, which was okay. But I talked about it on a pod. I thank the Lord for hindsight. I remember I was talking to Virgie, and that was like the word he was giving me, and I was like, that's so true, because it's like, when I look back at it, right, I could see how parts of me was, although it wasn't fully, right, but parts of me kind of did it out of selfish ambition. And in a sense of like, once I do this, I feel like maybe I'll be somebody, or I will be seen as this individual. And so, like, at the moment, that's what Grace and Hustle was. And 2024 was such a hard year for me, especially after school had got out in May, and then I had to go back home. And that was the longest I've been home since I had started school again. And I mean, y'all know my father's paralyzed and I had to take care of him. And, you know, just being back into the environment of like your home after like being away for a long time can be very hard. And then like relationally, I was going through a lot of emotional like turmoil. And then it was just very depressing. Like my summer was very depressing. Like I remember a lot of the poems, because I like to write poetry, and a lot of the poems that I wrote were very depressing. Like they were beautiful now that I look at it, but in the moment, like that was like my only way I felt like I could talk about or be on, like whatever, I don't know. But then as we came back to school, again, things were just all up in the air because I'm a sophomore now. So I'm like, oh, well, I still don't know what I want to major in. I still don't know what I want to do. And I about gave myself high. No, I didn't. I gave myself highs because I was so stressed because like I struggle with perfectionism and like control, making sure like I have the correct decision, which I mean, a lot of us go through that, right? So I know I'm not the only one in a sense of like, I wanted what I was going to do to be perfect. And I needed to know that it was the right thing. And so I would go back and forth with the Lord. I'm like, tell me what I wanted. Please tell me. Please tell me. And I literally wasn't hearing nothing. I was going crazy. I was like, man, I'm done, bro. Like, I can't do this. It's just too much stuff happening. And so finally I was in my closet and I hear these words of just, it was like, just choose. And he took me to like when he told Abraham, he said, just decide which way you want to go in Genesis. Don't matter what you choose, I'll be with you. Because that's the point, right? Whatever I'll choose, regardless, I know that just like in Psalms 139, he says like, I already have your days numbered. I already know. So just choose, you know, and I'll be with you in whichever route that you go. And ended up choosing what I was going to do. And so then in December, I go back home, and I don't know, I don't know if I was fasting yet. I don't think I was. No, I wasn't. But then I went for a run because I had an inclination that I felt like I needed to change the name because so much had happened and I haven't been back. I wasn't on the pod for like months, like almost a year. And so I was like, dang, it's crazy. And I felt like I needed to change the name. And then I went running, and one morning, and then the word intricately woven came in my mind, and I was like, and I just stopped. I said, that's it. And it fits me more because, like, if you know my story, well, part of my story, you know that, like, with Psalms 139, it's been like my backbone, like the fact that the Lord knows everything about me. That he cares for me, that I was intricately woven in my mother's womb, right? I was made like in his thoughts outnumber like me more than the sand. That I have this individual that really loves me and cares about me and like delights in me. He doesn't just love me, but he actually likes me, right? Because it's like, no, he loves you. No, he likes you. Like he wants to spend time with you all the time. He enjoys you, you know, and it's like, I don't know. So yeah, I ended up changing it again. I was confused because now I was all by myself. I didn't have anybody else with me because I'm like, well, okay, Lord, I feel like you just want me to do this. I didn't have much knowledge. I didn't know what I was doing. So then those thoughts started coming back again of controlling and perfectionism and all those things. And I'm like, I don't have to have everything. I don't know, right? And that's okay. And when I look at it now, it's like the whole like intro of like, hey, welcome to the Intricately Woven podcast, where we're on the journey of true self-discovery, learning how to live a life of surrender instead of striving. Yeah.
That's a bar.
So yeah, so like that was the intro because I don't know who I am, but I also understand that in understanding who I am, I must understand who the Lord is. And through understanding who the Lord is, I then see who I am. And so it's like, yeah, that's where you got the intricately woven thing from. And I'm excited. It's been hard, I won't lie. It's been frustrating a little bit because once again, you're doing something by yourself, but like, praise be to God that he gives you community and people that can help you, you know, if you don't know what you're doing. Like I said before, reach out and be honest. So, yeah.
Amen. It was good. It was good.
You practiced that?
I didn't know you was going to ask me that. You know, we was in the elevator talking about something. What you going to ask me? I said, I don't know.
Yeah, my bad. I wing it, you know.
No,
It just got a vibe. It was. That was a great question.
I think, like you said, it kind of ties to what we were talking earlier. Just that understanding of like, it's okay not to know, and even like when we talk about like pursuing purpose, that's a very scary thing too, because it's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
And how do you know like, okay, what's the right decision, what's the wrong decision? And like recently, for Collegiate Day of Prayer with the student committee, we met, and I was kind of talking about this with them, and also like with our Collegiate Day of Prayer worship team. Of like, it's very easy. It's counterintuitive, but like, you have to start with yourself, right? A lot of times we think like, oh, like God's the focus. We start with God, but like, as Romans 12, like 1 and 2 talks about, is like you're supposed to present yourself as a living sacrifice. Right. And it's when you present yourself as a living sacrifice that you start with yourself, and the end point ends up being Jesus and God's ultimate plan. Right. And so like with the worship team, what we were kind of talking about is like, for our worship team, it's a combination of several different college ministry people. So it's like they've never played together before. And that was kind of what I was saying, is like, don't start from a place of cohesion. Like, okay, how can we have to be cohesive? How can I fit myself into that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, start from a place of like, this is who I am, right? Yeah. This is what makes me unique. This is my playing style. This is it. The ultimate goal is cohesion. So God, begin to mold who I am into what you actually want to do. And that's kind of how we have to take our life. We a lot of times are asking the plan, like, what's God's will for my life, right? But the real thing we should be is like, how can I fit into God's will? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does what I want, my desires, my skills, my giftings, how can it be molded in to fit to what God already wants to do? Because God's will is simple. It's to call everyone back to him, right? Lost people back to him, right? So that we all may be in perfect union with him. That's God's will, not in a nutshell, right? How do you fit into that? That's the real question that you have to kind of figure out, you know, and like, how do I use my giftings, my skills, if it's in the workplace or if it's in, you know, vocational ministry, if it's just being kind and being a friend to somebody, like whatever that looks like, that's what you're figuring out. But that takes time, and it's okay to just choose and let God figure out. I mean, let God show you what he's trying to, what his ultimate plan is. And like, it's okay to make that wrong decision. Yeah. God isn't sitting there like, oh, they went the wrong way. Oh, well, that's it. They're done. You know, like recently, like I had something that I wanted to be a part of and I wanted to do, and it didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking back going like, man, I shouldn't have done that. Like that's not how I feel. Like I thank God for every step of that journey that I took to do what I felt like the Lord was calling me to do. And God just pivoted me, you know what I'm saying? And it had nothing to do with like, oh, I made the wrong choice, because as it says in Romans 8:28, God works all things to the good of those called according to his purpose. And it's like, it's not that like, oh, God's going to tell you every right decision to make. He is working every decision you make and everything that happens to you into his perfect plan. And so if we just are constantly operating out of this place of like, God is working this for my good, I'm going to continue to pursue him. Even the decisions that we, in the benefit of hindsight, look at and say, okay, maybe I could have gone about this a different way. Yeah. The benefit of hindsight is evidence of Romans 8:28. Because now you have that hindsight of knowing what to do in the future. Yeah. And so that is all God working out things to the good. But it ultimately, like I said, comes back to this place of like knowing that like God's will is God's will, and it's understanding that coming from a place of, Lord, this is who I am. I'm presenting myself as a living sacrifice. How can you mold me into who you want me to be?
Bro, that's so good, dude. You almost, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I ain't even joking right now. You almost made me tear up, G.
Hey, bro.
I'm trying not to cry. I shouldn't have said that, but
It's okay. You can cry. You can release them.
you said something that
Yeah.
that really kind of hit me, bro. You talked about how, like, although it didn't like work out how you wanted it to, like, you didn't look at yourself and say, like, I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah.
And, you know, so many times, like, when I mess up, I find myself, like, punishing myself.
It's okay. Yeah.
And just, like, hear you say that, it's like, dang, like, I ain't got to do that.
You don't. Dang, bro, you gonna make me cry on the dang. You don't. You know? Like, Bryson, like, you don't.
You really don't.
And whoever, listening, like, you don't. It's not your job to punish yourself, because his grace is sufficient. And he's already allotted for your missteps, or even sometimes not your missteps, right? His perfect redirection of, he did want you to go this way, but it may not have been so you could see the results of it. It's just so that you could learn the lessons necessary to propel you for where you actually wanted to be, right? If it was to teach you better empathy, like, I know that was for me, like, it taught me empathy in a way that, like, I'm having to practice and I've never understood before. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's not our job to, like, God has already, through the perfect sacrifice of Jesus, paid that punishment, right? And so when we get into the identity of who God has already set us up to be, we can live free from that. You know what I'm saying? And dang, y'all.
No, Sam, man, it's crazy, bro.
Like, hey, bro, that's the good. Like, you think about, like, the goodness of God, bro. Like, I get it, bro. That bring you to tears real quick, because it's like it's a freeing life to live.
It's so freeing, DJ. Like, as I'm listening, it's like you can just see how exhausted you are. Like, when you are trying to hit this mark that is so, like, it's not even unattainable. The mark not even there. Like, it's like you're blindfolded trying to hit something that's not even there. Like, you're never gonna get there. That's the whole point. I mean, that's the gospel. The fact that there was a people who could never reach that mark, and that's why you have a loving Father who meets you where you're at every single time, because it's exhausting. Like, when I say, like, I gave myself highs because I was so stressed out. And that is not the life that the Lord wanted me to live. It breaks his heart when his children are doing that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Bryson, I literally thought about you this morning in the sense of that as well. Like, I was like, man, I like, the thought came in my mind. I was like, why is Bryson so hard on himself sometimes? And it's like, I catch you, like, kind of like going into it. Like, when something happens, it's like you sink into your mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's freeing in a sense of, like, everything that you have from the Lord is a gift, even his grace. So, and it's something I'm learning too. Like, it's not that I'm there. I don't think we'll ever be there, right? Not until the Lord comes back, that you constantly fall in love with him over and over again. Like, in Romans, it says it's his kindness that leads us to repentance. Like, the fact that the Lord has so much mercy and patience and grace for you is the reason why why you want to look like him. It's the reason why you want to go back. It's not because, oh, I got to fix this thing about myself. No, it's because, Lord, I know you love me so much that, Lord, please help me look more like you. Yeah. Because looking more like you is the most freeing thing someone could ever do. Look at the life of Jesus. If we're called to look like Jesus, man, when I was listening to this radio thing, and the lady was like, if you could describe Jesus in one word, what would it be? And the lady said, relaxed. And when I say, like, it does something in me, and it, like, because I remember it. Because, like, I think also in this book that I'm reading, it emphasizes, like allowing the Holy Spirit to, like, literally give you images of, like, when you read the gospel. So when I read about the woman at the well, I literally read it. I closed my eyes and I tried to allow the Holy Spirit to, like, give me this image of how the Lord would have been there. Yeah. And all I saw was Jesus, like, being tired, walking up to the woman, loving her, seeing her, valuing her more than she could ever value and love herself, and saying, hey, I am what you've been looking for your whole life. Can't no man do that for you. Can't no accolade do that for you. No, it is me. I am what you've been looking for your whole life, and I love you. I love you so much. And you literally, like, it's so freeing because, like, I don't know how to, you just start to get, like Bryson, you just start to get emotional, because it's so hard to believe. Like, there is no way that you love somebody that much. Like, there is no way you love me that much. Like, I can't even see that for myself. Like, you have to be telling me there's something wrong with me 24/7. Like, you gotta be telling me there's something wrong with me. Otherwise, like, no, I can't believe it. And that's a lot of times I feel like that's why people struggle, because, like, it's so hard for us to believe that someone can actually love us to the extent of which God loves us. So
Amen.
I'm proud of you, Bryson.
Hey, bro. You weren't all the way over there. I can give you a hug. I'm gonna give you a hug as soon as this podcast.
As soon as it shut off.
But no, bro. That's good, bro. I think, hopefully like that. It's a thing you have to wrestle with. Like you said, it's hard to believe, or like I know, like for me, it was kind of like, where, like God, like kind of where are you? Kind of the kind of question I was asking myself, and just like, was I wrong? Did I do it? And I just felt like the Lord has given me peace about that. It's like, no, like, you are where you are, and you're exactly where I want you to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's not because I've done everything right, but because my focus is still, like, after everything that's happened, it's like, okay, God, where's to next? And as long as you're at that place, you are where you want you to be. And so, like, I feel like there's peace there immediately. Because I know, like, especially for someone like you, Bryson, like in your situation, like, you're looking at, like, like the next steps of life for real. You know what I'm saying? It's like, did I do everything that I was supposed to do during this season of life? And, like, as I'm moving in this next season, like, what's the right decision for me? And like I said, I just think, like, it is, if you're asking yourself, like, God, where do you want me next? You're asking the right question, right? Yeah. And if you are constantly in that mindset, you can never go so far off the path that God's where you need to punish yourself, or God's going to punish you. You know what I'm saying? And that redirection isn't punishment. It's just the next step. You know what I'm saying? And, like, it can be uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of how I talked about in the first episode, like, that rejection that I faced, that was uncomfortable. That was very, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? But, like, in that, like I said, God has allowed me to move to the next step for what he actually is doing in my life, And so, yeah, man, I think that's good.
Yeah. I over the summer got the privilege of preaching for the youth group, and I was able to break down Psalms 139 in terms of, like, dealing with the, like, fear. And one of the fears I touched on was the fear of failure, which is the biggest fear that I have, honestly. And I think, just listening to y'all, it kind of reminds me that I need to take a hint of my own advice, start listening to the things that I actually declare and believe. Psalms 139, verses 7 and 8. Where shall I go from your spirit, or where shall I flee from your presence?
Yeah.
If I ascend to the heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. And I remember when I was preaching over the summer, when I looked at verse 8, I told the youth, I was like, if I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I succeed, if I make it to the mountaintop, God is there. But if I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. So if I fail, if I miss the mark, God is there. And I think I just got to remind myself that, because, like, me personally, like, it's literally why I be so hard on myself. It's because I don't want to fail. It's like I've seen the ramifications of failure on my life and on those around me. So it's just like, I don't want to fail. And that makes self-condemnation very easy for me. And something that, like, I've just noticed about myself lately is that, like, the fear of failure literally drives my self-condemnation so much that, like, I know the scripture says, therefore there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. But I told Tamaya, I said, I literally don't want to let go of self-condemnation because I don't know who I'd become without it.
Jesus.
So, like,
Jesus.
that's why I'm so hard on myself, is because if I take the reins off, if I take off the what other people would call unrealistic standards, then, like, I feel like I would be a sloppy person. I feel like I would be like a bum. Like, I would be a failure. And, like, that's not what I'm trying to be, for real. I'm trying to be the best husband. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be the best friend, the best leader. And it's like, in my life, unfortunately, I've done that dang near all through my own strength. And it's getting to the point to where, like, I guess I can just realizing, like, how faulty it is. You know what I mean?
It's exhausting.
Because, like, just to hear you say, like, it didn't go the way I planned and I don't regret what I did, like, that's mind-blowing to me. Because, like, me, like, even today, right? Like, I seemingly, like, failed. Now, I was down on myself, and I was like, bro, like, I don't even think I want to hoop no more, bro. Like, I legit just, because I thought about, like, how last week at the Holy Steppers, like, I ain't hooping, everything went smooth. So I was like, maybe I just need to stick to lifting weights and just hang it up the hoops, like, for real this time. Like, because all I do is get in the way and mess stuff up. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know what I'm saying. But I don't think that's I said all that to say, I think I just need to listen to stuff I've been said before. Yeah. God is with me, whether I succeed or whether I fail. I hope that spoke to somebody, because I don't know why I said that on the podcast.
No.
But
I think I appreciate your vulnerability.
Yeah.
I think I appreciate your vulnerability, and it will be meaningful for someone else. You know, there's somebody else who's facing that exact same feeling. It's feelings that I've had before, will have again. And I think for me, what I realize is, in a way, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy when you operate out of that. Like, I don't want to be a failure, because just like what you just said right now, I mean, that's point in case. That condemnation got to you so much that you don't even want to do something that God has called you to do, which is play basketball and be a part of this college ministry, which the main part, one of the main focuses of that college ministry is playing basketball, right? And that, in a way, is more of, quote unquote, a failure than any misstep you can make, because you're cutting yourself off from something you love, and two, something that God has allowed you to use to call people back to Him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, that's why operating out of this place of, like, self-condemnation and perfectionism is so dangerous, because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. of you work yourself to an exhaustion where you don't even care anymore. You give up. And that's where the big falls come from. Like, you think of all the people who have been famous leaders and all of that. I mean, that's what they're operating out of, is when they hit that falls, because they have been so focused on, like, I got to make sure I do all this perfectly, right? That when it doesn't go perfectly, everything crumbles, right? Yeah. And everything that they feared of happening happens. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why the enemy wants to get us in that place where we're operating out of that. And that's why we have to be so diligent about not, because it's like, to me, the ultimate failure is cutting ourselves off from purpose, right? And what self-condemnation does is it cuts you off from your purpose. Yeah. It gets you to a point where you're so exhausted that you're apathetic to your purpose, right? Because you've been chasing this unattainable goal of being perfect, basically. And so when you can't achieve that, you become apathetic to everything. And that's what the enemy wants, is for you to be apathetic, where then it's like, okay, I can't be perfect. I might as well just do whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? And like, that doesn't happen overnight, but it does. That's the end of self-condemnation. That's where it gets you. And so, like, once again, it's freeing to be able to be like, once again, it's not even something where it's like, man, I don't regret what I did because, like, I feel like I was right. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret what I did because I know God's going to use it for the good. That's what I'm saying? Good. And so because I know God's going to use it for the good, it's kind of like what we talked about earlier this week when I said that you can dwell on what could have been, or you can focus on what is, Like, I could go through all the scenarios of what could have happened, what this could have been that could have been that, but this is what it is now. Right? And I know that what could have been isn't going to happen, and what did happen, God's going to use for the good. So what is happening now is God's providence, as long as I continue to keep my eyes on him. I know I talked a lot, Dustin. You can go ahead. You have something to add?
No.
Oh, really?
No, you good. I mean, look, I'm listening as well, Like, yeah, I don't know, man. This is amazing. I wasn't expecting this, not gonna lie.
Neither was I.
Yeah, wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I done walked out and cried all in the same
Hey, we gonna split the screen. We gonna split the screen. Host cries in the middle of and walks out. Yeah, hey, y'all gotta play this right. Yeah. Y'all gotta play this right.
Get all views up.
Get the views up, bruh.
Views up like crazy.
And then, like, when y'all do like the clip, like do the clip of him like standing up, but like make it nowhere in context into what like had happened. So like, even though he walked out in the middle, make it as if he walked out like later.
Yeah, like at the very end, bro. Like,
yeah. Right. Yeah. Y'all know, cause that's how they be doing it. That's how they be doing it.
That's how they get you, bro. You
gotta
watch
play
it,
bro.
Like, bro, like this didn't even happen the way, like, this was over here. This was over here.
They be doing it. They be doing that with them basketball highlights, and I'm tired of this. Okay.
About the big dunks and then they cut it off right before.
I'm sitting here like, bruh. They be like, when they like trying to fight or something, they're like, they got in this big fight. Whole time they never. They didn't even fight. Like I'm sitting here trying to watch an NBA fight, and these folks sitting here yelling at each other.
Exactly, bro.
No,
like
I want to see hands.
When freaking
I want to see hands.
It's that Jackson
Ron
coming at you.
Was,
what are you talking about?
You remember when he fought a fan, like he whooped a fan's butt?
That's what I'm saying.
That was crazy. That's when they changed.
Wait, was that the Malice in the Palace?
Yeah,
or
Ron
whatever?
Artest.
Oh,
Yeah,
snap.
he like got in the stands and started whooping on.
That's crazy.
Gotta do what
Ron
you gotta
Artest
do.
used to be great before he was Meta World Peace. He used to be crazy, bro. He used
bro,
to be insane. He was a baller though, bro. Because he was never the same. Well, he was still pretty like all right, but he was never the same after he became Meta World Peace, bro. Ron Artest used to ball.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, he did.
I am in no way. What's the word?
Endorsing.
There we go. Endorsing. What am I not endorsing?
Violence.
Okay, yeah.
She don't
I am in no way endorsing violence.
You're
trying to
very
figure out, did he
well
get a
media
chip?
trained.
But
I know you got a chip with Kobe, but did he get a chip?
no, because
Nah, he just got
I
a
don't
chip.
know. I've seen that man before though. I just didn't know that he did all of that.
No, he was Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I see why.
2004.
I see why.
Oh yeah, he was balling, bro. I know he played for the Pacers, but I couldn't remember if he had played for the Nets at one point, but he didn't. But he got that one shit with Kobe, but that's when he was like old by that point. But he still got the ring. But yeah, 2003 to 2006, Ron Artest was a beast, bro.
How was y'all's Valentine?
Dude, mine was great. I had a good time.
With Cam Bam.
I did, bro. And I hadn't seen her in all week, so it was cool. What about you, Bryson?
Man, that joint was perfect.
Oh, really?
Like, perfect. Like, Tamaya.
We love Tamaya.
Hey, I'm grateful that I get to spend the rest of forever, however long I'm on this earth, with her. So, like, it was literally like the best Valentine's Day I ever had.
Dude, that's actually so precious.
And when I got home, I texted her and told her, I said, I hope that this day gets replaced with even better days.
That's good. Okay.
She gonna start. Okay, y'all write that down.
Hey, bro, yeah, y'all put that in y'all's notes.
Because that'd be our problem. Y'all don't be knowing what to say.
Exactly. Y'all be coming up to, what up with you, baby? They don't like that.
No,
Do you
honestly,
like that?
I don't listen. People, they don't. So people don't really come up to me like that. But like, I was talking to a friend, and they were like, I kind of look intimidating, and I'm like, bruh, I just be vibing. Like, I really don't. Like, at some point, I'm like, dang, God.
Yeah. I think you need to just smile ear to ear.
No, I ain't doing all of that, bruh. You want to talk to me, just come talk to me. It's not that deep. I promise you, it's really not.
DJ Hardy.
Not no more, no. I'm good.
It's Destiny.
I'm good. I'm tired of that.
I never understood, actually, men who just did that. Like, I never had that. Well, in high school, I wasn't like the it guy. So that wasn't really what I was doing. But even then, like, I just can't imagine going up to somebody I don't know and just saying something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is just wild.
They just be, sometimes, man.
Yeah, we don't know. Men do better. It's all right, though. Hey, before we end, bro, just want to remind y'all, and also just ask y'all, because y'all are both a part of Collegiate Day of Prayer.
Yes.
Man, Collegiate Day of Prayer is happening in less than 2 weeks. When this episode comes out, it'll be
the Collegiate Day of Prayer.
It will be on Collegiate Day of Prayer, actually. So
dang, for real?
Yeah, it will. It comes on the 27th. So yeah, man, y'all. How do you guys feel?
It's a big day.
How do you guys feel about it? Because Bryson, what are you doing for Collegiate Day of Prayer?
So I got the privilege of giving the gospel presentation, and how I'm feeling.
Yeah,
I'm very excited. I really am, like, truly excited, because I finally get to serve, like, my people, I guess you could say, like the school that I go to. It's a big privilege of mine, but also kind of just like making sure I do the word justice.
Yeah,
I want to make sure that I communicate God the right way, and basically no miscues. And then I am thinking about. Well, I'm not thinking about it as much as I used to, but like a big thought, a fear that came to mind was like, man, what if I say something wrong because of all the doctrines that'll be in the room? And then also there's probably going to be somebody who's more biblically literate. There is going to be somebody who's more biblically literate than me in the room. And then, like, I have this reoccurring thought that comes in my brain. Like, when I get off of the stage, somebody's going to come up to me, hey, buddy, actually. And it's like, I don't want that to happen. It's the whole fear of failure thing coming back up again. But I'm honestly excited, just trying to work through those emotions and genuinely just take time and just get prepared, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And when you go through those emotions again, you can replay this podcast.
I will, actually.
Dang. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, once again, to free you, and we kind of talked about it, because, I mean, that's been something that, we've been trying to be sensitive to, like, as a team, is like, there are people who understand baptism differently, understand, some like worship differently, understand even like the places like Mary, like the mother of Jesus, like where does she fit in this kind of whole thing? Like, I've kind of used this word before because I think that's God. One of the reasons that God put me in this position, because I kind of classify myself as like a Christian agnostic, in a sense that like I know Jesus died for me for my sins, and through him and only him, there's salvation for the world.
Yeah.
Right? Everything else, shoot. Like, and I think it's like a level of humility to be like, it's not like there's things that I'm comfortable with, right? And that's why I go to the church I go to, because that's the doctrine that I think, that's why I'm part of Chi Alpha, my college ministry. And I listen to people from foundational, like my parents and my, grandparents, all the way up to like Stuart and Pastor Brandon. Now, like, I have people in my life, so it's not just like, oh, it's me, hanging out. Like, I'm figuring this out. It's just like being humble enough to admit that like you cannot understand God. And so to try and systematize everything about God and be like, okay, God fits in this box right here, then I know that, right? And if you think something different, you're wrong, I'm right. I think that's a lack of humility, right? And so like one thing I run is the cafe theology. Sorry, I'm going to tangent. I'm almost done. But cafe theology, which was part of like Chi Alpha, and we discussed theology, and theology is kind of faith-seeking understanding.
Have y'all used the slogan I made? No, you haven't. It's okay, bro. I'm never making.
What's the slogan?
I forgot it.
It's buried in a note somewhere.
It's hard though.
It is a good slogan.
Oh,
But basically, yeah. I mean, that's what we're here to be learners, and that's I think my whole lifetime is going to be as a learner. But anyway, say that all to say, there are people who are not going to think that way, or there's going to be people who are prideful or legalistic in their doctrine, and like that's not, you can't control that. What you can control is like what God has laid on your heart to speak, and so you're going to do the best ability to do that. But once again, going back to what we just talked about, like even in the missteps, God has accounted for that, and so you just have to pray like, Lord, just grace me to be a part of what you want to do, and I'm gonna trust you to do the rest. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. Appreciate that, DJ.
Of course, bro. Of course. Destiny, how you feeling?
And what's your part?
Yeah, what's your part?
how am I feeling? I think the thing that's been going up in my mind is like expectancy, because it's like, God, you got that building. You got that building for a reason.
The building, by the way, is Lee Hall, which fits 1,000 people in it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
It's huge.
you got that. And it's like, when it's some moments when you're like, oh, maybe we did that. No, y'all, you didn't do nothing.
Sure don't.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you had no influence. It was only the Lord.
Right.
So it's like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how can I prepare myself willingly to be available for you to do what you must do?
Yeah.
Because I don't want like my lack of sensitivity or my lack of like effort in any shape or like form or way to be like a form of hindrance. You know what I'm saying? Not saying like everything like is dependent on me. No.
Yeah.
But it's like, I do know like a lot of times people can get in the way of the Lord, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. I want him to do what he wants to do. Yeah. And if that means that like I'm a vessel on it, then hey, let's get it. Right. And the part that I do, I'm going to be praying over the campus, like with the organizations. And I believe one more thing, but I forgot. But I do know like organizations and just ministries. Yes, there we go. That's what I meant. Camp organizations and the ministries. Right. That's what I'm be praying over. And then I'm also part of the worship team, and we've been practicing. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little. For me, it's been a little. It's been a lot, because I really just, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm singing all the time, but not in a sense of like, I'm just be singing, praising the Lord in my room, or like when I'm walking, or like unknowingly humming or something like that. So I'm excited. I am.
Y'all ever watch Cat in the Hat?
A little bit.
There's a part in Cat in the Hat where he goes, I'm so excited. And my dad watched this episode. He's going to know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Shout out to my dad. Shout out to you.
You talking about the movie?
Yeah.
The weird movie?
Yeah, the one with what's his name? It's the same guy from Austin Powers.
Oh, Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, yeah.
Word.
Yeah, that movie is weird. Yeah, y'all should watch it though. It's a classic. It's like B movie for like we had B movie and Cat in the Hat, like on DVD, and we had one of those cars that had like the little mini theater like things that came down, and so we used to like watch those two movies during road trips all the time. So yeah, our whole family is very well versed on those two. Anyways.
What about you, bro? How you feeling? What's the role you playing?
I am feeling good, man.
Well, you the CEO. We know what role you play.
I have been blessed with the opportunity to be the lead student organizer for Collegiate Day of Prayer, man. And
CEO.
I am
Boss man. Everybody answers to DJ.
No, they answer to God, man. Anyways. No, I get the role of doing that, and it's really exciting. But I am super, of course, thrilled. If you know anything about how it went last year, it started planning for it about a week and a half in advance. The worship team got thrown together in 3 days.
Yeah.
300-something people showed up. So we was like, whoa. So we got a student committee this year. Started planning about 3 months in advance. We started in December. And of course, things kicked off, or it'll, kind of come to fruition in about 13 or 12 days here in a little bit. But
that's crazy, man.
Yes, we are. I'm thrilled to see just what God's doing. I think kind of like what Destiny said, like, God got the space for a reason. Like, if I had time, I would tell y'all about like how crazy it was, because we were originally gonna have to pay for it, and then some things worked out where some people just happened to be somewhere someday, and that ended up being how we got the space for free, and are getting to work directly with the university and partnering with them to kind of execute this kind of community type event. But yeah, man, we got some. We're getting to do more things that we've ever gotten to done. And so, like, it's just really cool. And so I'm super excited to see how everything comes together, man, and God is moving. And so I just, hope that somebody's blessed by what we're doing. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
Period.
Okay. Hey, Destiny, well, we're so glad to have had you on this. We're so glad to have had you again. Once again, y'all go stream. Or is it on streaming services? Or just like,
It's on Spotify.
Okay, so it is on streaming services. Y'all go stream or watch.
And YouTube. Yeah, you gotta tell me. You gotta show me how to do the other stuff.
I had to call Apple.
Yeah, because they piss me off, man.
Like,
Whoa.
Dang.
They're hearing this.
Hey, bro.
Who, Apple?
Yes.
Me and all my homies hate Apple.
Just like we.
Young Vagabond, Young Vagabond, and the Young Vagabond Company do not endorse hatred towards the Apple Incorporated.
The Apple.
You need to say the name right.
We thank you for your contributions to the tech world. Steve Jobs, may you rest in peace.
Shout out to Steve. Although Steve Jobs didn't. I was trying to figure out what to say.
Yeah, it was Bob Ditko, right?
No,
that's freaking Marvel. That's Marvel, bro. I've been so locked in on my stuff.
Bro, I gotta go watch that movie.
Steve Wozniak. Shout out to Bob though on what he was doing over there. Was he like, is Stan Lee like stole stuff from Bob or something?
No, Stan Lee and Bob Ditko made Marvel.
Oh, shout out.
Yeah, bro, I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know.
Steve Wozniak is the creator of like the original Apple.
That's who it was.
And he, Steve Jobs actually is not that good of a like tech or innovator himself. He was just a really good salesman, and that's what made him a genius. Like, he was probably one of the best visionaries like of all time. Which really goes to show you, if you can speak well and you can sell something to people, you can
be
go
dumb.
Really, really far. I mean, it's not that he was dumb. He did
I know. I didn't mean that.
Understand like pretty
in,
much how.
Yeah, in terms of like how to do the stuff, he was dumb.
Right. Like he had no clue, or not a huge clue, and yet he was the face of Apple. And so, yeah, man, like you can get a lot of places just by being really good, confident. A few days ago, one of my friends, actually, I don't know what the statute of limitations on certain things are, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about that. But
Good
anyway,
job.
It was actually Steve Ditko, not Bob Ditko.
Okay, so you got the
Are they
Steve. That's where you
brothers?
got the Steve mixed up. Who are brothers?
The Bob dude and the Steve
I
dude.
don't know who Bob is.
How would they be brothers? Because they're both they
Hey
have
guys,
the same
this
first
is,
name.
so we want to
Steve.
thank you for checking
Bro,
out
it
this
say
podcast,
Ditko or
man.
something like that.
But his name was
you
Steve
guys-
Wozniak. They just
Bro,
had the
he
same
just-
first name. They'd be
We
like,
want to thank you for
I'm
checking
tired,
out this
bro. I
podcast,
don't got time for this.
man. Like
I'm
we
sorry.
encourage y'all to like, subscribe, share all the things. Follow us all on Instagram. You can find Destiny OR on Instagram. And what's your Instagram
It's
handle?
just my name, Destiny OR.
Okay, and what's your what's your podcast?
It's Intricately Woven Inc. INC.
that's good.
That's
Yep,
it.
Go
Simple.
follow her on Instagram, all of the things, as well as you can follow us, YV Podcast on Instagram. You can follow DJ Hardy at DJ Hardy04.
Why are you saying
Yeah,
all these?
all of these things. Make sure to hit our link
And
tree.
bless Bryson.
Look, man,
That's his Instagram.
we thank you for tuning in. Make sure you donate a bond. Make sure you buy a bond, buy stocks and bonds in the company. Fiscal year 23.
They getting married. They getting married. I'll do it. They getting married. You know what I'm saying? So they need
You got to
some-
give context.
I
Who is
am,
they?
bro. Oh, I'm sorry. You right.
You can't just
Because in my mind, it makes sense, right?
Me and Bryson.
Oh, you so right. My bad, y'all.
that was pretty wild
So,
just to throw out there.
Bryson and my good great friend Tamaya are getting married, right? Hit that Cashapp. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's actually a good plug. So
I'm saying because they got a registry.
indeed,
They need, you know what I'm saying? They're new. They don't got much.
Yes, thank you, Destiny.
They are broke.
They- you know what I'm
Dead
saying?
broke. They are so broke.
So, DJ, is
they
there
need
anything
this money,
you
y'all.
For
would like
real.
to say?
Hold up, bro. Like, hold up.
Like,
I gotta
in the
talk about
ground,
this.
like-
dude, like they are poor. Dude. So,
Like
y'all need
borderline.
to help them out. Like, you
Please.
remember, like, when it was
Go
like,
Podcast
fund
host
me.
walks out twice.
Go for me. We finna set it up next week. It's gonna be here.
It's, go.
We're going to do it.
We're gonna make one of them really sad videos. For like $1 a day, you can. Okay. Anyways, Bryson,
What do we always say, Bryson? Y'all be blessed. Don't stress. Do less and let God take care
Hey,
of
bro,
the
do
rest.
what you gotta do.
We
Bro.
love
Support
y'all.
the
We
support
out.
the support the
I need a bag. Como se dice? I make a banger that got it on replay. Why they talking about he say, she say? Probably gon' slide in there, yeah, on the freeway. I make a bag and I blow it, no cheesecake. Then I gon' sell everything.